everybody. Oh, yeah. Welcome back to another episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast which talk about all your favorite TV series from yesteryear. Oh, yeah. And then we discuss it over a healthy beverage made out of spinach, kale, and some juices.
Ew.
And it's good. It's actually pretty good.
Kale, though. Kale's gross.
It's a smoothie, girl. Relax. Calm your titties. All right. My name is Patrick. I'm done. You probably remember me from the previous, 190-something episodes. And I'm joined here, once again, with Phelan, Kat Halstead, the author. Welcome back, Katter. How you doing?
We're already off the rails and we're like 30 seconds into this thing.
It happens. It happens. How you doing? How you been? It's been a hot minute since we've last recorded.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Quarantine's, come and gone for the most part. It's over.
I think my lockdown is definitely over.
Mine's for sure over. We had Memorial Day weekend here in Myrtle Beach. There was gang violence. People were shot. Great time to be alive.
I'm back at work, working 2 or 3 days a week sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, and begging people to come in and work. I spend half my time in the scheduling office going could you please work these hours?
But who knows? Maybe by the time this episode finally airs, we'll be in wave 2 of COVID-19.
Oh God.
And we'll be back at our little bungalows, hiding from the elements. Hiding from all those pathogens out there, all the little droplets.
To be fair, if we really do get a second wave, my ass is not leaving the house.
Oh, yeah. Because I think the flu pandemic of 1918 or whatever, one of those years, this wave 2 is the deadly one.
Yeah, the second wave was worse because people were like, oh, it's over!
Let's have a parade in the streets and all shake hands and hug and kiss.
Then it got really dark. And this is really dark.
Yeah. Wave 2. Don't come a knocking, please.
Yes, please. We're not ready. We don't want it.
What are we doing today, Kat Halstead, the author? What classic teen soap are we dipping into for the second time, I believe?
Yes, this is the second time. We've had plans to do this show more, and then we never touched it again until now.
Yeah, I think the first time we did the show, we did a shoplifting episode.
We did a Chrismukkah episode. It was a Chrismukkah episode.
Yeah, but Marissa stole a wristwatch from a department store, though.
Yes. You're going to remember the shoplifting. I'm going to remember the Chrismukkah. Obviously, we're doing the OC.
She gets drunk at the, cotillion, whatever gala or something they had to go to. There's always some kind of cotillion or gala or big event going on.
Dude, there were a lot of parties.
Landales.
Holy crap.
I think it might have been a Landale party.
Who knows? We don't remember because it was 5 years ago that we did that episode.
It's literally episode 24, I think. It's the real early days of the show.
I mean, I don't think it's that. It's got to be a 30-something one.
We had hopes and dreams of revisiting all these classic episodes, Marissa kisses Olivia Wilde, millions of other Christmas episodes, Oliver.
Fucking Oliver.
All kinds of things. But nope, we just decided to skip all of that. And just go to the grand finale. Marissa's grand finale, where she bows out of the world forever. Season 3, episode 25.
We just decided to go for it, and we've got some feelings. Okay, I'll be honest, I do not think I have watched this episode since it first aired.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Before we get into it, we have to kind of talk real quickly about the highs and lows of the show. So season 1, the first 12 episodes, that summer season, lit. It was lit. It was nonstop.
Fucking amazing.
Balls to the wall, all kinds of stuff's happening. We got Luke getting punched in the face by Ryan. We got an OD situation in Tijuana.
You get Ryan. Welcome to the OC, bitch.
A model house burns down. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Great show. Great time to be alive.
And of course we can't forget. Come on, Patrick.
Rudy! Yeah. Our fave band. Our low-key fave band. I don't even know a single song they do, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I honestly don't. I just remember Luke yelling Rooney.
Are they named after the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Legit know nothing about Rooney, and it's been too long for whatever I did know to matter.
All right, I'm not looking it up. I'm not going on their Wikipedia page. I'm not giving them the pleasure, the free ad space here. Mm-hmm. And then the show just kind of went on for a long time. Just kind of ebbed and flowed. We had I don't know, they will or won't they Marissa and Ryan like 800 times in like the span of 3 seasons.
And like they threw in his weird ex-girlfriend and
Sadie? Was it Sadie?
I don't even I legitimately can't remember her name. There was also like, of course, Crazy Oliver, the girl, Olivia Wilde, and that Marissa got with. Oh, that guy that died.
Oh, yeah. Did he fall off a cliff or something? Like a sand dune?
Yeah, like he fell off the sand dune or something.
Oh, it was a great time. Great time to be alive. That's all I got to say. And then, season 2 had its ups and downs. We had like the fun Olivia Wilde storyline. Then we had the big wedding between Caleb and Julie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he dies. Caleb dies on us. He has to go and have a heart attack and is never heard from again.
Well, that's because he has an island to go deal with, He has to go deal with the Dharma Initiative.
Yeah, he was Charles Widmore. He was doing like dual roles. I think they were like gone at the same time, right?
I think so, yeah.
So we kind of have to get into like the previously on the OC to kind of get into this episode because we're coming off, I guess. Marissa dated this guy named Volchuk, who he was kind of like a bad boy. He was like a cute little like California surfer dude, but with a bad streak.
Yeah.
Not the greatest guy. They have like a real bad falling out.
He's like a complete asshole.
I don't remember the specifics, but all I know is that for some reason, Ryan and Volchuk stole a car together.
Yeah, or like Volchuk stole a car, but Ryan was there.
I forget. But anyway.
Oh, he was Johnny. Johnny's the kid who just like died because he like fell or whatever.
Yeah, Johnny.
And he was like Johnny's rival.
From the rival surfer gang.
Whatever that hot mess was that that year. Because like, let's be real. Season 3 of the OC, everything with Marissa is just a hot mess at this point. Like, she's kicked out of Harbor. She's going to like a public school.
Oh yeah, the shitty like public school that's troubled.
Yeah,
the troubled public school. It's like that school on Riverdale that Jughead goes to for a little while.
Oh yeah, like the South Side High.
Yeah, there's metal detectors and I don't know, kids wear like the big gauges in their ears. And they wear baggy Jenko jeans. They're bad kids.
Yeah.
They got colored hair. They got like green spiky hair. Ugh. And Marissa's like, I don't belong here. I'm a rich girl from the right side of the tracks. I just occasionally smoke a cigarette and get drunk on like a lifeguard tower and look pensively into the ocean, regretting all of my life's decisions. And being angry at my mom who fucked my ex-boyfriend and then like accused my other boyfriend of murdering somebody.
Yeah.
Like she framed somebody, like, not even accused. She like framed Ryan for murder. And then like at the end, it's just like, we'll just be friends. Who cares?
This dude kidnapped Marissa. Oh my God. And like, that's early on. There is a chick named Sadie at some point.
Yeah, it was one of Ryan's girlfriends for a little while. I feel like, I don't know. He got tired of fucking her and was like, you know what? Maybe I want to go back to Marissa. We like our hands touched each other's hands when we were at the cool little beachside diner they go to.
Yeah, the bait shop or whatever.
They shared French fries. They shared the same ranch dipping sauce container.
Okay, so this dude kidnaps Marissa. This is like just showing like Marissa's bad choices. Like this dude fucking kidnapped her and held her for ransom. And then she later dates him and takes him to prom where he cheats on her. And then steals money from Taylor.
Taylor Townsend, the dollar store Elle Woods? Question mark?
No, Taylor Townsend is fucking amazing. Don't talk bad about my girl Taylor.
She is amazing, but she is definitely the dollar store Elle Woods.
Oh my God.
She's, I don't know, has dreams of going to Harvard. She's going to somewhere, I forget. They all end up staying in town though, except for Summer. But she just, leaves town for like 6 episodes, then comes back.
Because she goes to college and becomes a hippie.
Oh yeah, she becomes an activist and she dates Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Like a heavy, like pre-built, pre-jacked Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Great time. Great time to be alive.
Like, he's that, like, douchey guy in college.
Yeah, he, like, hangs out naked in his dorm.
Yeah, like, let's, like, play hacky sack and we'll smoke a little pot and we'll talk about like how the establishment is getting us down, man.
Listen to Bob Dylan.
And you're like, dude, you're a white little bitch from like Idaho.
I want to point out that Josh Schwartz, the creator of the OC, his year 2006, 2007 take on college students is wild to me. It's Olivia Wilde to me because he just assumed that there were, I don't know. Well, I guess it's been a while since I've been in like at university, like college. I just I don't remember there being like hippies on campus, at least where I went to school.
Oh, honey.
Well, you live in Colorado, so different.
That's true.
Different place.
And I went to college in like the southwest part of the state, and we had hippies. I say this as I wear a tie-dye t-shirt.
Summer went to school in Rhode Island, right?
Yeah.
I lived near Rhode Island. I don't recall seeing any hippies in 2006 in Rhode Island. Correct me if I'm wrong, Twitter. Tweet us at Furry Podcast and let us know if, you lived in Rhode Island and you're a hippie in 2006. And I'll recall those words. I'll recant my accusations. But I'm just going to throw this out there. And just the environment that Summer Roberts grew up in, I just don't see her just being, you know what, I'm going to be a hippie now.
Well, okay, you also have to think this is in reaction and mourning.
That is true, yeah.
It basically, she's looking for something and, oh, hey, is that a hippie in this picture of Brown University? Yes, it is.
Buys herself a megaphone, starts shouting at SUV drivers, they're gas guzzlers, and...
Yeah.
All I can picture, though, is you're going to have that person that finds the Harbor High yearbook and, like, sees just how flaky that Summer Roberts really was, and they're just kind of like, you're not that girl.
That kind of thing. But I feel like it would have been worse, like, if somebody, like, outed Chris Pratt's character as, like, the lacrosse playing, like, jock.
He wore Aeropostale clothes and...
Oh, God.
Drove a Dodge Neon.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I don't know why, but a hand-me-down Dodge Neon. It was his... like uncle's. His uncle got a new Prius, an early version Prius, and he got the hand-me-down Dodge Neon that was like bright red. Had a CD player, like a three disc changer CD player. What would high school Chris Pratt's character listen to? Black Eyed Peas. For sure.
Clay Aiken.
You think that Chris Pratt's character is listening to Clay Aiken?
I think he was rocking out to some Invisible. It's like that Dirty Little Secret kind of song.
Oh, yeah. You think he's like a big American Idol, like, super fan?
Yeah, he was probably like voting for Clay every week. And guys, I'm saying this as someone who literally voted for Clay every week.
So you see a little bit of yourself in Chris Pratt? Is that what you're saying? Or you see a little bit of Chris Pratt in you? If that's what you'd prefer.
I'm just saying, like, I think if that era, that's who.
Like, debut album, and he's rocking out to it, just driving around town. Fantasia. Maybe listen to a little Fantasia. Catherine McPhee.
Blake Robertson.
This is the part where we just drop names of American Idol stars. Daughtry.
He had, like, Kelly Clarkson. He probably went and saw From Justin to Kelly in the theater.
Oh, like night one.
Yeah, like
the only night it was in theaters.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I've seen that movie like once, and that was like
by accident. It was just like your remote control. The battery fell out of your remote control.
Like, I was like, okay, I'm curious. It's not like the kind of thing I would rent, but it's on like Showtime or whatever, so I will watch it, and I will wait for Crossroads to come on after.
I can picture,
because that's what I really want to watch.
I don't know. There's a part of me that feels like you're lying that in 2002 or whatever year this movie came out, you got the the disguise, the Raphael from the Ninja Turtle movie disguise, like the trench coat, the brim hat, the sunglasses, and you were like, one from Justin to Kelly, please. And then you like looked around. Okay,
I want to point out, no, because I have to remind you, this is the point where I lived during the summers in a very small town, that like if there's there were 2 movie theaters at the time, and they would play like a total of 3 movies. Sometimes both theaters were playing the same fucking movie. So like we get the big ones, like we got Legally Blonde and we got Troy.
Troy? Is that with Brad Pitt? That's like the Brad Pitt Greek war movie.
Yeah, Troy with Brad Pitt.
Oh, I love it. I stan.
Oh my God. I remember seeing that because like it was like, I think it's the first movie I went to see by myself.
He had like long blonde hair in it, right?
Yeah.
He grew back. He grew back as Legends of the Fall haircut.
Oh.
Hairstyle.
Ooh, I haven't thought about that movie in a while.
You ready for a Fuck, Marry, Kill Brad Pitt edition?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, Fuck, Marry, Kill. Brad Pitt from Legends of the Fall. Brad Pitt from Interview with the Vampire, or Troy.
Okay. I'm gonna fuck Brad Pitt from Troy.
Okay, respectable answer. Respectable answer.
I'm gonna marry Brad Pitt from Legends of the Fall.
Okay, yeah, he's a good provider. He'll take you around on his canoe. I feel like is there a canoe in that movie?
I would probably kill Brad Pitt from Interview with the Vampire just because of the skeevy stuff he does with
Kiki.
Like, because when you really think about it, that whole thing is so fucking sketchy.
Yeah, it's a rough time. It was a rough time looking back at it. It is a hard movie to watch today.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't watch it for the first time until like a year ago.
I do remember that. There was like
I just remember being like, what the fuck, people? What the fuck?
There was like 3 movies you watched in like one weekend that you had never seen. That was one of them. What was the other ones?
Oh, Ghost. Ghost was one of them too.
Kat Halstead, the author, the movie watcher, has never seen Ghost with Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze, and fucking Whoopi Goldberg. Kat Halstead was not like 8 years old watching Demi Moore have sex with Whoopi Goldberg, who's really Patrick Swayze possessing her. Whoopi, because Whoopi was like a medium. So
yeah,
what a time to be alive. I just remember being so sexually frustrated at like 10 years old watching that. You're like, what am I watching? Like, what's going on? What's happening?
Oh my god.
Like that's how I learned about sex, is watching Demi Moore fuck Whoopi Goldberg, but it's really Patrick Swayze.
Oh my god.
I love it. Like, what did Whoopi wear? Like a strap on? Like what? I need to know.
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Like, what did it feel like for her? I want to know. Like, what? Like, does Whoopi remember it? Like, is it like I want like a Ghost sequel? It's 2020.
We can't do a Ghost sequel because Patrick Swayze is gone.
Well, I mean, it's just like the aftermath. It's Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know, at a she's at a party and they're playing like Never Have I Ever. They're playing that game, and they're gonna be like, never have I ever like made love with another woman. And Whoopi's gonna be like, well, I don't know how to answer this because I may have, but I was possessed by a really handsome, I don't know, detective or whatever he was.
What was? I don't even know.
I don't remember. Whatever. The OC. Back to the OC.
Yeah, the OC.
Where are we?
What we're really here to talk about.
Yes.
Not movies Kat's never like seen before that are surprising.
The episode starts off. We're kind of how does it start off? Like, what's going on?
Okay, we get like the previously on the whole like Seth burned down Sandy's office with like a joint he didn't put out. I totally forgot about Seth's pothead stage.
Yeah, so Sandy quits his job as like a public defender, and he joins the Newport group, which I don't know, it's just some kind of private sector-y type thing. I think he runs it, right? He like owns it, I think.
I think he's in charge because Caleb's dead and Kirsten can't run it.
We've talked about this before. The adult storyline in this show is just always wildly confusing. Was always confusing to me because they tried to like incorporate this like robust family business, but what they actually did never made any sense to me.
Nobody really did. Like, okay, what I understand is the Newport group is like one of those real estate development. They make the fancy housing developments.
They buy shoddy products or something, or they build property on like earthquake land that's gonna like fall in the ocean or something.
Yeah, they're bad about like where like Caleb made some shoddy deals where he bought cheap land on like an earthquake fault and is gonna build like houses for what's his face? Andy from Bravo's Shitty Housewives.
Andy Cohen.
Fuck you, Andy Cohen. Fuck you, Andy Cohen. Yeah, so he like they make these like gorgeous ass home. Well, like they're gorgeous at the time. Like looking back, I'm kind of like these houses are pretty cheesy.
They all look like it all looks like a strip mall Mexican restaurant to me. Like all the houses in the show.
Like they all have like the arches at just like I was looking at Sandy and Kirsten's house and I'm just like, I used to think this house was so glamorous and now I'm kind of like, girl, no.
I always felt the inside of the house never matched the outside for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was always trying to figure out the lay of the land.
I mean, it's not a house that I feel like we see like these weird parts of the house. Like it's not a layout that I could like describe, really, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. The house just seems really big. Plus, there's a pool house that they converted into Ryan's bedroom.
Yeah.
Seemed nicer than the rest of the house to me for some reason. I don't know why. Ryan probably has one of the coolest bedrooms.
Like, it's definitely nicer than fucking Seth's room.
Yeah, Seth's room, it looks like they just took Zach Morris's bedroom and just changed the posters. Just put up Rooney posters or Death Cab for Cutie. I think that was the band he was into, right?
Yeah, so he was totally into Death Cab.
Shout out to Death Cab for Cutie, friend of the show. Call us, tweet us. Tell us what it's like being a friend of Seth Cohen.
Seth Cohen's favorite band.
Yeah. That's like what put them on the map. That's all I remember.
Yeah, so we kind of start out more focused on Seth and, like, his guilt. Everybody's kind of like, is he going to tell Sandy? How is he going to tell Sandy? And he's kind of going back and forth. He's like, dude, like, and they're like, the worst thing you can do is lie to Sandy Cohen.
Well, there's this whole thing, too, that he might actually go to jail or get in trouble somehow, and they're not sure. And Sandy kind of has this, like, hey, as long as you tell me the truth, I might be able to pull a few strings.
Yeah, we might be like, because here's the thing, if Sandy doesn't press charges,
then it all goes away.
And let's be real, Sandy Cohen is not going to press charges against Seth.
He still had to go to the public defender's office and talk to them about this. I don't know, like, does someone there owe him a favor, or,
I mean, okay, so Sandy worked there for a long time. There's probably someone who owes him a favor. Or 30. Because, you know, Sandy Cohen is like the super lawyer.
It's those eyebrows. Those eyebrows just harness his genius.
Yes.
Like, if he got them plucked, like, if Sandy Cohen got his eyebrows plucked, I feel like he would not be a good lawyer anymore for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, like, if he, like, trimmed them down stuff, yeah.
Yeah, his lawyer abilities would they'd fall on the floor right next to the hair follicles. His career would literally go down the drain.
Yeah.
He's like, my eyebrows, Kiki.
My power.
I wish we got, because I know at one point in time they wanted to do that, like, Gossip Girl in the 80s, but they also kind of wanted to have, like, Kiki and Sandy and the other, like, OC characters would be a part of it. And I want to see college age Sandy Cohen, like, getting drunk, passing out, and then his roommate shaves his eyebrows off. I don't know why. I would pay to see that.
Oh my god.
For some reason. Or you know what? Like, maybe he had, like, normal eyebrows, and then his friend shaved them off and they never grew back, so then he just went and bought fake eyebrows.
Fake eyebrows.
And he just went with, like, the wildest thing he can imagine. They're just like pasties. They're crazy glued on his forehead. I don't know. That'd be great. That'd be, like, great if there's, like, a scene of like, one falls off and, like, Kiki has to go into her purse, get the emergency crazy glue out, and she puts it on, like, the wrong, it's, like, angled funny, so everyone thinks that Sandy's mad. It's, like, furled, like, it's looking a little angry.
Oh my god.
I want that episode.
Oh my goodness.
I'll go back and write the fanfic of it. Yeah, so anyway, Seth gets off, Seth comes clean.
Yeah.
Seth has to tell his dad that he got high at the Newport Group closet or something. Office. And accidentally burned the fucking joint down. Yeah. But it wasn't the whole place. It was only like a couple office buildings or something, right?
Yeah, it was like it was like a handful of offices. It's not like he burned down the whole model home like Ryan did.
Yeah. Josh Schwartz, what's it with you and wanting to burn down buildings?
Oh my god.
I could just see, like, if the show had continued, I could picture, like, season 6.
Summer accidentally burns down something.
Yeah, she starts, like, a great wildfire, burns down Malibu.
Oh my god.
I love it. You know, she was trying to, like, save the animals, and she accidentally burns down the whole fucking San Fernando Valley.
So we get, like, Sandy kind of clears up the whole, like, Seth thing. But, like, this kid, like, honestly, I do think the guilt of just having to tell his father was probably worse than any, like, legal punishment.
It's one of those, like, you need to tell me now so don't come out in the courtroom kind of scenario.
He tells his dad, but Seth is in this weird place where he feels lost because he, like, fucked around and didn't apply to college in time.
Yeah, and he lied about it to everybody.
Yeah, like...
For some reason, I don't know. He could have just said he didn't get accepted and moved on with life.
It's okay. You can take a year off before you go to college. That's what I did.
That's what most people do. Some people take longer than that. Some people wait like 20 years and then, they go through a whole life. They raise kids. They have like 4 dogs. They become an army wife. They go all around the world. Then they're just like, you know what? I think I want to be a paralegal.
Yeah.
So, Ooga. Shout out to Seth Cohen, I guess, for, taking some time off.
Well, to be fair, like, there is, like, this weird, like, pressure, social pressure in, like, these rich high schools to go to the right college, to get into all the colleges, and...
Well, I mean, Seth Cohen is the son of Kiki Cohen, who's, she was this high-powered business owner. I don't actually know what she did.
Second in command at the Newport Group.
Second in charge.
And, like, I think she kind of got in some legal trouble for the stuff her dad did.
Oh yeah, she took the heat.
Yeah.
So they forced her out. The board forced her out.
Yeah. But then Sandy got put in charge or something. I honestly don't remember. Like, I haven't done an OC rewatch.
I did attempt a rewatch when it came onto Hulu a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And I got as far as maybe like 10 episodes into season 3, and I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
I can't do it. I'm like, I just kind of want to skip to like Taylor.
Yeah, well,
Marissa's dead and Taylor. I should just skip to season 4.
Yeah, just kind of pretend that season 3 never happened. Mm-hmm. They could have just rebooted it in season 4. So
then we have Marissa and Summer. Marissa has somehow gotten back into Harbor High.
Weaseled her way back in.
Yeah, they got her back in somehow.
She's repairing her damaged relationships with everybody. So, her and Julie Cooper, who I secretly like to think she's like a supervillain for some reason. She's like Lex Luthor of Newport, where the OC where they live. So she's repairing all these relationships. Her and Summer kind of had an outing for a little while too, I think. I kind of feel like...
Yeah, I think, like, because Marissa, like, got really into hanging out with, like, Johnny and Chili and...
The bad surfer group from Back to the Beach. Those kind of guys.
Yeah, like, that whole, like, surfy, trashy group. So Summer and Marissa and Taylor are setting up for graduation, and... one of the Harbor High things they do is the graduates wear leis. Because, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, okay, when I graduated high school all the way back in 2000.
The year 2000.
We had, like, special sashes that said class of 2000. Like, none of the other graduating classes supposedly ever had anything like that. We were like, you're the class of 2000, you're special.
We end in 3 zeros.
Yeah, like...
For the new millennium.
So, yeah, we had, like, those. So, we all had our caps and gowns. Like, I went to one of those high schools where everybody had the same color cap and gown, and not the whole, like, boys in one color, girls in another. I don't know about you.
The boys had blue and the girls had white at my school.
Okay, see, we all had blue.
I think blue and white were our school colors, though, is what I seem to remember. Like a royal blue.
See, our school colors were like red, white, and blue.
Ooh, Merca.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Merca. Look at you. You go, girl. You go Colorado Springs High, wherever you went.
It wasn't in Colorado Springs, you asshole.
I don't remember. I don't fucking know. Did you just call me an asshole?
Yes, I did.
I was like, wait a second. I think she just called me an asshole on the air. Did you hear that? You hear that, Twitter? Redemption. That's like the guy in the hallway calling Seth a queer for wearing a gown, and he's like, "You wearing a gown too?" And he's like, "You just said you were wearing a gown," and he like laughed and walked away. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what was that all about? Like, what was the point of that scene?"
Oh my god. Okay, so hold on. So the girls are setting up leis, because I guess they don't like you get whatever lei is sitting at your seat, I guess. Anyways, so like Marissa gets this, like, Julie shows up randomly with this, like, thing from Jimmy.
An envelope.
Yeah, like, it's like this large FedEx envelope. And Marissa's like, okay, so she goes to, like, the library to open it. And inside is, like, this letter and an invitation to, like, come sail with him as a crew member around the Greek Isles. And Marissa's like, I'm gonna go do it.
There's nothing here for me.
Like, I have nothing here.
Well, I mean, are they gonna want to not hire her, accept her to school? She's been, like, kicked out of school.
Because if Seth fucked up around college, Marissa really fucked up.
She's got a record. She shoplifted a watch the previous, I don't know, 2 previous winners. She got, drunk at the annual, Christmas cotillion.
Yeah, exactly. So, Marissa has totally, fucked shit up. She got drunk at a lot of parties. She got high a lot. She, fucked up. She, moved out of her family home and in with her girlfriend. Why is this acceptable at 16?
There's a lot of questions. In the first season, they're literally, it's the summer between freshman year and sophomore year, and they're just unsupervised going to Tijuana for the weekend.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Great time to be alive.
I mean, I think that's, this rich people world, though.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe, because, they just don't pay the fuck attention to their kids.
Caitlin, Marissa's sister, she goes to a boarding school somewhere else. She's not even, on the show for, 3 years.
Yeah, and then she just, pops up, and she's back, and then she's basically, the focus of the next season for a good chunk of it.
I feel like they were, the old kids were graduating, and they were probably maybe trying to bring in a new crowd.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like that was what they were doing, making a show about high school.
So,
but I don't know. Obviously, it didn't pan out.
So they have this perfect way to write Marissa out. She's gonna go spend time with Jimmy. It's the kind of thing where you could always you could maybe wonder if Marissa will come back. And so she's saying goodbye to people. She's saying goodbye to Summer. She's saying goodbye to her mom. She's saying goodbye to even Seth. And, of course, Ryan. But in the midst of all this, after they, graduate, and that's the only scene I cried at during this whole thing was the graduation. And I don't even know why.
And it wasn't even that sad. I don't know why.
It wasn't I don't know why I was crying. I'm going to blame the sleeping pills because I took my sleeping pills before I put this on because I was oh fuck, I got to watch this before I go to bed.
I want to point something out. The thing that I love about the graduation scene is Taylor Townsend's the valedictorian.
Of course.
She she's given her speech, and then in the middle of her speech, they announce names to come up. And then she goes back to her speech, then they announce some more names, and then she goes back to the speech, and they announce more names. It's it's the way they did it so they could, so they don't have Summer, Marissa, Ryan, and Seth all come up at the same time.
Yeah.
They did that Saved by the Bell thing where it's the whole gang gets called at once.
Yeah.
I think there was only one other name they called that was in between. I think there was one in between Ryan and Seth. I think there was a name in between.
Yeah. I remember there being random name. I'm who the fuck is that?
It's great. It's great.
So yeah, they have the graduation and there's more talk about Marissa's gonna leave. And Seth's kind of a little lost because he doesn't know what he's gonna do.
For 3 months.
They have this whole, fancy dinner at the country club, which I'm guessing, all the parents do is, here's the fancy dinner at the country club.
Well, I think Taylor Townsend was throwing a party somewhere, right?
No. That's later.
Oh, okay.
So, there's the... all the families, seem to go out to dinner at the country club. Because Taylor's family was, over somewhere else. And then she came to talk to Seth and Summer.
Yeah, we also have to point out that Summer's dad and Julie are now a couple.
Yes, they're married.
Yeah.
Because Taylor comes to talk to Seth and Summer, and Seth, no one knows, there's a point where nobody can tell if Seth is joking around or if he's being serious, because he's just kind of the same tone for both. And he's yeah, Summer, you're part of the group now, you're the 5th member, and then Taylor, or no, he said that to Taylor, because I think I just said Summer. But, he says that to Taylor.
I was gonna let you have it, though.
He tells Taylor she's, part of the group, she's, the 5th member, and then she and Summer get, excited, and says, and Summer's yay, you're part of the group, who knew I'd be this happy, yada yada, and it's Seth's kind of wait, but what if I was kidding you guys?
Hey.
Because, Taylor, I fucking love Taylor, but she is, this just unending bound of energy. You think we should be cutting to a scene with, Jesse and Zach, where she's I'm so scared because I can't take my caffeine pills.
I just want to say, I feel Taylor's mom just put some weird drugs, in her smart water bottle.
Well, let me just say, I freaking, Autumn Reeser, who plays Taylor.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I love her so much. She's she's in my absolute favorite Hallmark movie of all time, which is A Country Wedding, starring her and Jesse Metcalfe, and I love that movie so much.
I want to. All right, so I think I was actually looking at this cast. Just about every person on this cast has gone on to either do another long run series or had some type of success elsewhere. Mm-hmm. The only one, the only actress who just kind of like fizzled out was Misha Barton. She's been in a few things. She had that like show that was on the CW for like one episode.
Yeah.
She's done a few
TBD.
Yeah. She did a few episodes of like Law and Order, I think. She's in a few things here and there. She's done like the revival of The Hills, but they ended up firing her from that for some reason.
Because Misha Barton is a fucking hot mess.
Rachel Bilson, she had Heart of Dixie.
Yes, which was fucking amazing. I fucking love Heart of Dixie. Like, oh my god.
She did a few movies. Ben McKenzie was on Southland and Gotham. Mm-hmm. Adam Brody's in a bunch of movies. Dude,
I just watched Adam Brody in like guest star in 2 different things in the last few weeks. Because he played Leighton. Because his wife, Leighton Meester, was on the show Single Parents, which ABC canceled, and they're fucking stupid for canceling that. He played, like, her baby daddy.
Okay.
And he was on the show Mrs. America in one episode where he played, I don't remember who, he played a real-life person. It was the episode where the couple tries to debate Phyllis and her husband on TV. He played the husband of the feminist. I did not realize it was Adam Brody until like
really
a good chunk of the episode in, when he like didn't have glasses on, because he had like the big 70s glasses. So I was like, just whatever. And then he like there was a scene where he didn't have them. I was like, oh holy shit, that's Adam Brody.
He's on Shazam.
Yes, he was in Shazam. I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, so everyone has kind of had decent success. Mm-hmm. Even like Peter Gallagher was on Covert Affairs for a while on USA.
He's in Grace and Frankie.
Grace and Frankie, oh yeah, currently airing on Netflix. The show, which had the weird commercial about dildos like 2 years ago.
Dude, have you not watched Grace and Frankie?
I've only seen the first season.
Oh my god, dude, you've got to like go and watch some more. That show is fucking amazing.
Maybe we'll stop recording. I'll go watch 4 seasons of Grace and Frankie, and then we'll come back up and finish talking about it.
That sounds like a plan.
So, shall we get to the big moment, or am I missing anything in this episode?
Ryan's mother comes into town for the graduation. She comes in from Albuquerque.
Buys him a car.
Yeah, and has bought him a used car, but she's had it like fixed up and stuff.
Knows somebody who like runs a car shop or something. Owed her a favor.
Yeah, but she's like doing better. She's like sober. She's getting her crap together, which is good.
Yeah, she's not like sleeping with random men anymore.
Yeah.
Waking up in random beds.
And like, Ryan's in a good place. Ryan's going to go to college in the fall. He's like...
He's going to go to Berkeley.
Yeah, he's got his shit together. Like, surprisingly, Summer and Ryan are the ones who have their shit together. Like, if you look back at, like, the first episode of season 1, Ryan and Summer are not the two you would be like, are going to college. You would have figured Jimmy would have bought Marissa into college. Well, if Jimmy hadn't lost everybody's money, he probably would have bought Marissa into a college.
That is true. And Summer was just the daughter of a doctor or something. She doesn't need to work.
She's the ditzy. She was like the ditzy party girl.
Yeah, she just liked to drink her Smirnoff ices and...
Yeah.
I don't know, have fun and dance to the Black Eyed Peas at parties.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
She's that girl that like... She's the girl that like strips down to her underwear at a party and dances around in the living room to Black Eyed Peas. Dances on the pool table.
Yeah.
At the beach house. While her gal pal Marissa Cooper is outside on the lifeguard tower drinking alone, staring pensively into the ocean, thinking about all the mistakes that she made. I feel like that happens like every 3 episodes of the OC for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Taking a sip out of her flask on the lifeguard tower. Overlooking the beach. I love it. You know what? If I ever like write a teen soap, I'm gonna have it take place on a beach. I'm gonna just make sure there's always somebody who just gets drunk and goes to the lifeguard tower and stares pensively Thinking about all our mistakes.
Okay, so we're at this point where Ryan has got the new car, and Volchuk is like insisting. He's like, I'm gonna run away to Mexico, but I need some money. So he's like trying to blackmail Ryan into getting him money. Ryan and Marissa, because he's like, if you don't give me this money, I'll tell them you stole the car with me. And Ryan's like, I didn't steal the car with you. You stole the car.
Does Volchuk even have proof?
Probably not. Probably freaking not. He's just like this shitty piece of crap asshole.
The only thing that I could think, maybe they would believe him because of Ryan's history.
Yeah.
He has a record, so they're like, all right, maybe he stole a car.
But even then, like, Ryan's got, like, how many years of not doing stupid shit like that?
Yeah, and you know what? He's, like, the show starts off, I think, with him stealing a car, right?
And he's got fucking Sandy Cohen on his side.
Yeah, Sandy Cohen, endless favors.
Yeah, like, come on. So there's, like, this whole thing where Marissa has to, like, pawn the pearls Julie gave her. And Ryan gives him the money, and the guy's like, I want to talk to Marissa. And they're like, you're not going to talk to Marissa. Marissa doesn't want to talk to you. He's like, I gotta talk to Marissa. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, was she just the best lay you ever had, dude? Like,
yeah, she's a 5 at best. Marissa is like a 5 at best. She's barely. Like, on a good day, she's a 5.
Yeah, so I'm just like, he is obsessed with Marissa. And, like, Marissa's driving the car, and Ryan jumps in, and they speed away, and he's, like, banging on the car, like, talk to me! It's, like, all, like, Mark Wahlberg, what was that movie where he stalked Reese Witherspoon? Fear? Yeah. Like, banging on the door kind of thing.
I have a question. Who is, like, that bag lady that Volchuk was hanging out with?
I don't know. Someone who wants his dick.
There was just this, like, homeless-looking lady, like, hanging out with... They're, like, sleeping in a van, like a dusty old van. Like something that Michael Kelso from That 70s Show would have.
I was gonna say that. It's like Kelso's van.
Like, the only thing that was missing was, like, just, like a couch in it. Like a 2-seater couch, like a love seat. That's the only thing that van was missing.
So, then Ryan's gonna drive Marissa to the airport. But first... Ryan, Marissa, Seth, and Summer hop the gate at the new model house.
Yep, the one that Ryan burned down 3 years earlier.
Yeah, and they go swimming in the pool, and they're having fun. And it's like the last time the 4 friends all have fun together.
They're splashing each other. They're playing that chicken game where they're on like each other's shoulders and you're gonna push them off.
And they're having fun, and you know, Seth's like, I'm actually gonna miss you while you're gone. She's like, oh, Cohen. I almost believe you. Yeah. Like, because Seth and Marissa have a weird pseudo friendship. Like, the only reason they are friends is because of Ryan and Summer.
Yeah. They even do this. They start doing this, like, what if? Like, what if Ryan never came to the OC? Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, then, you know, Seth and Marissa never would have known each other. You know, he basically just changed, like, all these people's lives for the better.
Yeah, it's just like that catalyst for everything to come.
It's what they're implying.
Yeah. But at the same time, if Ryan had never come to the OC, Seth would have been a pothead and burned Sandy's office.
That is true. The Newport group would be thriving.
Would Marissa be the hot mess that she is?
I feel like she'd still be with Luke. I'm going to throw this out there.
Yeah, she and Luke would have just been like that couple.
So, are you saying that Ryan Atwood killed Marissa Cooper?
No.
Low-key responsible for her death?
I think he's responsible. I don't think he's really responsible. I think Marissa probably would have found somebody
that would have killed her,
no matter what, to help create the drama in her life. Because let's be real, Marissa fucking thrived on drama.
That is true. I have a theory. I have like a Final Destination theory that Marissa Cooper was supposed to die in Tijuana. Mm-hmm. She was supposed to die there, but, you know, Ryan saved her life. And it just took a while, but, you know, death finally came back around.
Death finally got her.
Death finally caught up to her in the most, like, morbid way possible.
Yeah, so, Ryan and Marissa, like, Seth and Summer leave, and then Ryan and Marissa leave, and Volchuk has been fucking stalking them all day.
He's, like, parked out in front of the model home, across the street diagonally. Yeah. They don't notice him lurking. They don't notice the gigantic blue van.
Until, like, way later after Ryan's been like, this guy's been behind me the whole time. Like, really, fucking Ryan?
After they go through the Roger the Rabbit Toontown tunnel?
See, I was thinking of it as the Back to the Future tunnel.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure they're the same tunnel.
It probably is the exact same tunnel. So, at that, like, they realize this asshole's chasing them. Like, he's trying to hit the car, trying to get them off the road, because Volchek just wants to fucking talk to Marissa, and she doesn't want to talk to him. At no point does either of them go, oh, pull out a cell phone and call the police.
We know that Marissa has a phone because she pulled out a flip phone earlier in the episode.
Yeah, she pulled out her, like, little Motorola Razr earlier, or whatever it was.
I love it.
Her little pink Samsung phone, which, like, had the iconic OC ringtone. Like, do you remember how they all had the same ringtone?
I can't quite place it right now, but I'll have to go. It's something I'll have to go back and look into.
I just remember I always wanted to download that ringtone, and I couldn't download that particular ringtone.
You didn't know what it was called? Volchek is trying to drive Ryan's brand new Jeep off the road. I'm like, why doesn't Ryan just stop the car? Just stop and like turn around, and he could probably get away, or at least just you know what? I don't think Volchek was intending to kill them.
He just wanted to talk to Marissa because she's apparently the best thing that ever happened to him, and he cannot let it go. Even though he fucking cheated on her.
Ryan could have stopped the car, and he could just beat the fuck out of Volchek. Just you know what? Just he could have claimed it as self-defense. He's like, this guy was trying to drive me off the road, so you know what? I beat the fuck out of him. I smashed him over the forehead, gave him another scar on the other side of his forehead.
Yeah.
With a fucking tire iron. No. Like, instead, they come up to like a curve. Like the road's like, there's a curve in the road.
Yeah.
Car flips off it. It like rolls like 4 times. The car like rolls like 4 times.
Yeah, it rolls over like 4 times down a hill to another road.
I think Marissa, they do show her when they first leave, they show her putting a seatbelt on, but then they show her like, I think she had taken it off for some reason, because like the way she was sitting in the car, it didn't look like she had it on. So I think it had come off. So I think she like kind of got like tussled around a bit. Yeah,
I think she took her seatbelt off and Ryan had his seatbelt on.
And I think she just experienced like severe head trauma. And well, I know like they tell you like you got to be like really careful like removing someone who was in a car accident. You got to be really careful taking them out. You got to get them on like a flat board. But, I mean, the car was going to blow up, so obviously he had to, like, take her out.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason he actually got her out when he did, is because he saw the gas and he saw the flames.
Yeah, so he had to take her out. I think he might have, I think he made it worse when he took her out.
Probably. But at the same time, she was going to burn to death.
Yeah, so he had to think quickly. And so he got, like, far enough away from the car where, you know, there was an explosion, they'd be okay. And he's like, I'm gonna go get help. I guess they don't have a phone. Well, the phone could have been in the car and blew up.
They're not thinking about how like their cell phones can help them. It's still 2006 where people like were like, oh, my minutes, I can't like talk right now. And like you go outside because you have better reception outside.
He wants to go get help and she's like, no, don't leave me. I think she knew she was dying. Like, she knew she had, like, minutes left to live, and she's just like, I'd rather just, you know, die with you right here instead of, like, you, I don't know, running a mile down the road trying to find help, and, you know, they're going to be late anyway, so might as well just stay here with me. Mm-hmm. And she dies in his arms, and we get this little, like, wide helicopter shot that's, like, filmed from above, and we see the car explode, and it's, I don't know, playing Hallelujah. And another iconic song from the soundtrack, from the OC soundtrack, Mix 4 or whatever. Yeah. Summer Mix.
So, can I be honest? I kind of found this whole death scene lame.
It's not a good death scene, I think.
It's, like, I remember, like, when it happened, like, the first time I saw it and we didn't know what was coming, being like, holy fucking shit. You know?
So, leading up to this episode, there were rumors that Misha Barton was leaving the show. Yeah. It was this thing that was going around. You heard her. I think she did the talk show circuit and she was like talking about how she was leaving the show at the end of the season. And
yeah, but I think nobody expected her to die.
Yeah. And so,
you know, especially because the episode sets it up. She's going to go off and be with Jimmy for a year.
So you're watching the episode and you're like, okay, she's going off. Like, there is a lot of foreshadowing in it though, like, because there's little dramatic irony lines that are basically like peppered throughout the episode. And, you know, Marissa's like, you know, Summer's sad that she's leaving. Like, my best friend's leaving. And she's like, I'll be back. Like, you know, like, I'm just I'm just a phone call away or an email away or however, I'll find a way to communicate with you guys. And they're like, okay, like that's making it better. And Summer's like, well, you need to tell your dad to bring the boat to Rhode Island. And she's like, oh, I will. And they like laugh about it. If you watch a lot of TV, you kind of pick up on a lot of these things. So you're like, okay. And I think they even advertised it. It was one of those like, and at the end of the hour, someone will die. I feel like it was like one of those. I kind of remember that being in a promo for some reason.
Maybe. I think if we figured anybody was going to die, it was going to be like Summer's dad or something, like somebody not important, or Volchek,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It'd been like Volchek or Volchek's like bag lady friend with the curly hair.
It wasn't going to be Marissa. Like we didn't know Marissa. Like in the actual moment, it's like shocking. Like if you don't know this is going to happen and you're watching, and then you're like, oh, holy shit.
At the time, Misha Barton was like, she was at the peak of her career. She was on the cover of magazines, commercials.
This is like peak Misha Barton, Lilo, Paris Hilton, splashed across all the tabloid. This is like pre-Kardashians. We're in a pre-Kardashian point.
They were I feel like she was kind of being set up to be the next big movie star. They were gonna try to put her in film. She was gonna be, I don't know, like whatever, just some dumb, quirky, like romantic comedies about like high school or college students or something. She'd be that girl in a movie with Rosario Dawson or something.
Yeah, she was supposed, like, they were definitely setting her up to be like an it girl, but then her own personal bullshit kept that from happening.
Troubles with the law. I think she was like, had several DUIs. I think she was always getting caught like with weed or prescription pills or something.
Yeah.
She was just always I just remember always seeing like on the tabloid cover, like, OC star, like caught again. Scandal.
Yeah, like she was hanging out with like that whole like Lilo, Paris Hilton sort of crowd, and they were always like fighting with each other and getting drunk, and
it's like the birth of TMZ. This is where we're getting TMZ is coming in to fruition. And just showcasing all these people. And I think people, like, I feel like movie studios and television studios, they just saw her maybe as a liability. They just didn't want to hire her.
Yeah, she definitely looked as a liability.
She seemed like the kind of actress that would be, it'd be 4 weeks into production and she quits the movie. Or, she keeps showing up late. She shows up late every day.
Exactly.
She's high and drunk. She forgets her lines. Her male co-star doesn't want to kiss her because her breath smells like cigarettes.
Yeah.
So she just kind of fizzled out after this. And
yeah, she like did some bad Lifetime movies.
I follow her on Instagram. She seems like she's doing okay now, but I don't know what her income stream is, because it always seems that she's somewhere exotic. She's always on some island somewhere or in Europe or something. I'm just like, how do these people get around?
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is apparently, according to TMZ, she was too boring to return for another season of The Hills.
Yeah, they just, like, they renewed the show for a second season and were like, we don't want you on it. I don't even understand how she even got connected with that show.
I don't know, but another like headline. This is from 2018. Misha Barton denies driving U-Haul into apartment building despite video.
Oh, messy Misha, we love you. We stand. We want you on the show.
Apparently, there's a sex tape out there somewhere.
When Kat Halstead gets sick, next time she has the flu and January Jones isn't available, I want Misha Barton on the show.
Oh my god. Like, the headlines for her, like, are just ridiculous.
I feel like we can make a game. We can make a game where we have to read the headline, but, like, don't say the star's name, and then we have to guess who the celebrity is.
Okay, this is a headline. This is from 2011. Misha Barton faces mysterious Chinese sex toy.
Clickbait.
Yeah, like, that's the headline. I, like, don't even understand. I'm just, like, scrolling, like, I went to TMZ.com and just looked up her name.
It's 17 pages that you can scroll through, and there's, like, 20 on a page.
These are just ridiculous. Oh, I gotta get, like, there's not that, I'm sure there's a point where there's, like, a dozen, but I've already gotten to 2008. Apparently, Misha Barton kicks it to the curd. Again, what the hell? Like, God, these headlines are awful. Misha hides her SAG award.
Must have been a slow news day. Nothing going on in Hollywood.
Oh my god.
They're like, let's see what Misha Barton's up to today. No good, apparently. She's hiding her SAG award.
Yeah.
What?
What?
I can picture you're actually watching TMZ and it's like, when we come back, Misha Barton hides her SAG award.
Like, is she hiding it in her vagina?
Is the SAG award the mysterious Chinese sex toy? Misha Barton faces mysterious Chinese sex toy. Is her face on a mysterious Chinese sex toy?
It looked like it was her face on a box for a Chinese sex toy. You
know what? I'm gonna go on it like eBay and look for that. I want to buy it. We can make it a Patreon trinket.
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure our patrons would be down with that.
You feel like they wouldn't be down with that?
I feel like they wouldn't be down like that. Oh my god, hold on. I'm almost at like around the time of the finale, like her last episode, and I'm looking to see if there's anything. Nothing really. Apparently, there's a curse of Paris Hilton post she's in.
Do you think they had the season 3 wrap party? Do you think she showed up to it?
If there was vodka, yeah.
Wasn't there rumors that it wasn't an easy dismissal from the show? Like she kind of bad mojo between her and the producers?
Yeah, I think so, because I think like she was just such a hot fucking mess.
I mean, the writers obviously clearly set it up so that if wanted to come back, she couldn't.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're done. But it was like as petty as Shonda Rhimes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
No one talks about how petty Josh Schwartz is.
I mean, has he pulled that stunt on anybody else, though?
I don't think he actually has, because I think he learned from Misha and, like, kept that shit in check. But I will say, he wrote Blake Lively they gave Blake Lively some really shit storylines on Gossip Girl.
Where was Blake and Josh Schwartz oil and water?
I don't know.
Like, do you think he had it with her and just gave her the shit storylines?
Yeah, I think so. I think with Gossip Girl, they thought Blake was gonna be like the star, like everybody was gonna just love Serena and not like Blair. But Blair was the queen of that show. Leighton Meester came in and just made Blair likable and lovable when she didn't have to be.
Okay. I mean, we've talked about this before.
Oh, wait. On Gossip Girl, they had, what's her face? Taylor Momsen, who was a hot mess too.
Yeah, but, she was still she's, like, in the last episode still, though. They just, like, diminished her role, though.
They, like, really, like, were like, nope. They're like, we get it. You don't want to be here. We don't want to have you here if you don't want to be here. But we're not going to be complete assholes. We're like, he like caught the signs early, I think.
Well,
and was like, yeah, you're done. If you don't want to be here, we don't want to have you here. We can try to like write more towards this, but if you don't want to be here, you can go.
I think when they killed off Marissa Cooper, though, it obviously destroyed the OC. Like season 4.
Yeah.
Although I thought it was like a new beginning for the show and, brought life back into a dying series.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were turned off by it, and the ratings dramatically dropped. They didn't even the show didn't even finish its season.
It did.
Yeah, but it was shortened. It was wildly shortened.
Yeah, it didn't get so like what happened was it didn't get that like pickup for extra episodes for the season. That'll sometimes happen.
If you watch the episode before the last episode, it looks like they're setting up a whole bevy of new storylines.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, the last episode, it's I don't know, like 3 months later. Everything that they were setting up is just like neatly wrapped up and they just end the show.
That's true.
I think Fox gave the writers, hey, we'll give you one more episode.
Yeah, it's like you got one.
Wrap it up.
Because
there's wasn't there like a gap in time? Like I think one episode aired in December and then it was like February when the show ended.
I honestly don't remember because like that was a weird TV season, I think. And I think that was around the time Fox was still playing with their like time, like their season, like when starting and stuff, Yeah,
because they moved it to another night. It was on a different night.
Yeah, they moved it around and it didn't get the promotion it got. It didn't have the buzz because like I guess Misha was a draw for people. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are pissed off that they just suddenly exited her, just dramatically killed her off in the show.
I remember my roommate at the time was very pissed.
I remember being confused. I was actually excited to see how it would play out. And it was a little awkward at first. Season 4 starts off a little awkward, but it definitely picks up steam. The atmosphere of the show changed. It almost started, like, it was always kind of comedic, but like it was like fully morphing into a comedy at this point. Like, Julie Cooper was no longer like a super villain. She was just kind of this like quirky, fun character.
She was this quirky woman just trying to get her life together.
She goes back to school, I think. Does she go back to college?
She's got the dead daughter, like the marriage ends, and she ends up with like Hercules.
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
Who's Ryan's dad. Ryan's dad is Hercules.
I completely forgot about that part.
And then the final episode of the OC, Ryan and Taylor get married. Seth and Summer get married.
Ryan and Taylor get married?
Well, they end up together.
I choose to believe they're together for, like, forever. Because Taylor really was, like, a great match for Ryan.
You know, I think after Marissa, Ryan was just kind of a hot mess. He joined a fight club.
Yeah.
Julie wanted to hire Ryan to kill Volchuk at one point.
Yeah.
He was like, gonna murder him. They had like this, like, almost murder plot.
Yeah, it was
in the works.
Why was this a show? How was this a show?
But then they backpedaled on that and then just made Julie like a quirky, fun gal. Even Caitlin kind of started off as just troubled vixen at the school, but even like she kind of becomes a quirky hot mess too. Like she's Julie light. I think they avoided the pitfalls of making her like Marissa.
Yeah, they were like, let's not do that. Kirsten and Sandy are in like this weird place where like they don't know what they want to do with their lives anymore.
She gets knocked up.
And Sandy ends up a professor at Berkeley. Like, they were really happy in Berkeley, but, like, they had gone back to Newport after Kirsten's mom died or something, and were like, they, like, got trapped there by, like, family obligations, and now they're like, wait, we don't have to be in Newport if we don't want to be. If we want to be in Berkeley, where we were, like, really happy. And they, like, buy their old house back from this, like, gay couple.
Yeah, because there's an earthquake and the Newport house gets destroyed.
Yeah.
And rather than, like let's not repair it. Let's just sell it. So they sell the land. Ryan sees the ghost of Marissa as he's driving off into the sunset. And then he sees like a little boy who looks just like Ryan struggling on the side of the road.
Okay, so, like, that's... Okay, so, like, eventually, like, Ryan becomes an architect. And... like, at some point, like, we're gonna guess, like, he's, like, in a good place in his career. He's probably working for the new Newport group.
The Berkeley group?
The Berkeley group, yes. And he sees this kid, and he's like, hey, kid, do you need help? Like Sandy did for him.
And then it kind of, like, fades to black.
But, like, Seth and Summer get married. Sandy and Kirsten have a baby girl. So Seth finally gets...
Julie graduates college.
Yeah.
She marries Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah.
Great times were had. All is well in the land of the OC. Everything wrapped up in a neat little bow.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, no one has thought about trying to reboot or sequelize this show.
I am actually it's kind of surprising. I mean, HBO Max is going to have a new Gossip Girl, but nobody's, like, looking to get the OC.
Do you think it's a forgotten...
I don't think so.
I think in the grand scheme of things, looking back, it had one really great first season and then just uneven second and third and then a surprisingly decent fourth season. I feel like they're just probably like, you know what, it didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I think Gossip Girl had much more of an impact, I think, on the history of this genre.
Maybe. I think Gossip Girl has the help of the book series, though, too.
That is true.
Because, and this is as someone who has read every book in the Gossip Girl series.
And I think Gossip Girl is a more exciting show.
I mean, it's got some of the same things. Like, there's a fucking party every week. There's, like, practically no supervision from the parents. Like, they got the parents who marry, like, weird, odd, like, you get the odd step sibling pairings, and, like, at one point, Serena's mom marries Chuck's dad, and then later she marries Dan's dad. And, like, Dan and Serena share a sibling from, like, Rufus and Lily's early teen romance.
It's wild. I love it. I stand. I can't wait for Gossip Girl to come back.
Oh my god.
It'll be great. Shout out to HBO Max. And also shout out to HBO Max for having the OC on there. So, Ooga, maybe, you know what?
Yes, oh my god.
Maybe a new generation of young kids will discover this show and they'll find a way to bring Marissa Cooper back. Who knows? Maybe she didn't really die. They can Sydney from Melrose Place her.
I'm kind of curious. I kind of wonder if, like, people who discover the OC now, who, like, go and binge it, like, how they would feel about that 4th season compared to people who watched it as it came out. You know what I mean?
I think it would go over better now because, you know what? You didn't have the whole summer to just kind of figure out what the fuck's going to happen on the OC and wonder.
Yeah.
Season 4 doesn't have that many episodes, so you kind of just get like a little snippet of this brave new world that the show ventured into.
Yeah.
I think it would play off better now to newer audiences.
I think so too.
This young generation discovered it right now. They're not going to experience the highs and lows of the tabloids behind the show. So I think it would play off better.
I think so too. They don't have TMZ flashing a Misha Barton headline all the time.
Yeah, Misha Barton's hiding her SAG award. All right. On a scale of 1 out of 5, burn down Newport Group office buildings. How many burned down Newport Group office buildings would you rate this episode?
3.
I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to give it a 3.5. It had its highs, it has its lows, but I think it kind of like dips over to the high side a little bit more for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was just kind of fun watching Marissa Cooper die again. After 2020, after this year, I'm like, you know what? I just need to see a wildly undramatic death scene.
Yeah.
Of a beloved TV character. And
I
use that term loosely.
Like, I was really surprised at, like, how underwhelming the whole thing was. Because, like, I had this memory of it as this dramatic fire everywhere, like, moment. And then I was watching it, I'm like, this is underwhelming. This is not what I expected. And I realized when I take out that shock value of the original moment, you kind of lose that.
Yeah. I mean, because I knew it was coming. So you're just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it to happen. And it did seem a lot bigger in my memory.
It seemed way bigger in my memory.
It almost seems like they kind of rewrote the ending for some reason in a way. Like it's just kind of this quickly rushed ending. Like, you know, maybe they were going to just let Marissa fly off into the sunset, but maybe she pissed off Josh Schwartz like a week before this episode aired and they like called her back for a reshoot. And, you know, like, fuck it. We're just going to kill you off.
They're like, we gotta like do a few things.
All right. So that was the OC. We are now leaving Orange County. We are now going through the Roger Rabbit Back to the Future tunnel.
Yes.
We are exiting gracefully. We're not going to get plowed off the road by Volchuk and his bag lady friend.
Oh my god, where was that bitch?
She was in the car. She was telling him to stop at one point, I think. She's like, what are you doing? Why are you obsessed with her? Like, she's not that great. Like, she's not that great.
Like, for real.
But whatever. I don't know. Volchuk, blinded by the light. Anyway, next week. I'm excited for next week. I don't know if you have your list up. I don't know if you have your notes up. We're revisiting a classic. We're going back to something we've done 2 times previously.
Okay.
We are returning to book club.
Oh, yes.
We are going back.
More hot mess teens. Woohoo!
Yes. You know what? We decided to just kind of, you had a hot week. You had a hot hour listening to us talk about Marissa Cooper and all of our hot teen mess friends, hot messy teens. We've decided, you know what? We're going to book 3. Yes, book 3.
Yes.
In our Sweet Valley High series. And I don't know, who knows what's going to happen? Will there be like evil twins? Will there be a car crash? Will we go to that? Will we get to go back to that fun like bar and grill from the first book?
Will there be magical vodka?
Will Enid be in it? Will it be an Enid?
I think this might be a more Enid-focused book.
You get to revisit the world of Enid, Kat's least favorite Sweet Valley High character. So, where can you follow our wild adventures, Kat Elstead, the author? Where can you follow our adventures?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast. You can find us on YouTube, Patreon. What up, Heather? And I think that like anywhere you found us already, so just keep listening and subscribe.
Just keep listening, girl. Just keep listening. And as always,
bye.
Watch the skies for smoke signals coming from the Newport Group fire a few miles away.
Oh my gosh.